Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are coming in from the beautiful forest. Today I wanted to talk about compromise again. I've talked about this before, but it's been coming up really strong right now. But when we hold the compromise of energy within us, we're going to keep attracting that into our reality. We're not, if we know what we deserve and we're clear on what we want, but we compromise because we're afraid of the real deal not showing up. So we're like, this is 80%, or maybe it's not even 80%, maybe it's 20%, and it's not a full body yes. And you're agreeing, you're in contract, you're energetically agreeing to be in that space. Let's say it's a person that you're keeping in your life that's not 100%, it's like a 20% or an 80% or 50%, whatever it is, but it's not a full yes, and you can feel it in your body and you're ignoring it because whatever the reason may be, you're afraid that because they're supporting you in some sort of way, or because you're afraid of being alone, or because you're afraid nobody else will be there if they're not there, and like whatever the reason is that you're compromising, the story behind the compromise, the wound behind the compromise. If you're willing to accept less and you are willing to accept something that your body is saying fuck no to, and you're not listening to your body, how can you make space for the fuck yes? The fuck yes won't show up in your life until you make space for it by clearing out the fuck no's or the maybes, because if they're a maybe, they're a fuck no. And I'm recently experiencing this with like someone, a friend that I want to be in their lives, but what they're choosing is self-sacrifice in some ways. They're not fully choosing what is best for them. I don't know how to word this, because it's not that, like, obviously I don't know what is best for someone else because we're all on our own journey, but I can feel the compromise in the choices of, when certain people are showing up in compromise, and I'm no longer willing to show up in my life in compromise anymore. I'm no longer willing to compromise within myself, and it's been something that's been coming up to be released, is like being shown the tiny little ways where I've still been compromising within myself, and the tiny little ways it's showing up in my life, which is like leaking energy. We leak energy when we are compromising. And I've been cleaning this up and clearing this imprint from in my field. And through that, I've been noticing people in my life who are compromising in really, really big ways. And now my energy, my body, my being is no longer wanting to be in the field of those that are compromising in big ways anymore. It can't, because by being in the field of others that are compromising themselves in really big ways, I am also compromising, because I am choosing them, and through choosing them and being in their field, I am also choosing compromise. My being is not willing to compromise anymore. And another aspect of this is when there's people in my life that are strongly choosing compromise, or I'm noticing, that in my life, my being won't allow me to stick around. My being is saying, no, we have to take a step back and let this person move through whatever they're moving through to choose themselves, because you are choosing yourself. Let them choose themselves and rise to meet you. You don't meet people in the gunk, you let them rise to meet you. This is how we help each other rise, is we hold the field. I get to hold the field of honoring myself and being devoted to myself and not compromising my values and my worth and my energy, and holding that field. And that's the most loving thing I can do for others. So when I'm experience others in compromise, which is just aspects of myself, I no longer can feed into that energy, and I have to take a step back while they're on that journey, unraveling that and learning how to let go of compromise themselves and how to choose themselves. And that's all of our own journeys. We all have our own journey, and it's not about interrupting someone else's journey or trying to save them, because we can't save anyone. It's not our jobs. The savior complex comes from a wound. So it's about just taking a step back and letting it breathe and letting them go through their journey, and you just hold the field. Literally, you just hold the field and say, okay, if that's what you're playing out right now, let it play out. But I'm going to stand over here and I'm going to live my life in my alignment and not compromise my values and myself and my energy and my worth, and literally just not compromise myself to hold this field for you, for me. And it's not about having attachment to whether they rise or not. It's just about continuing on your journey in devotion to your path and what is true for you. And the aspect, this is the other aspect of it, is when we are compromising. Let's use a relationship in this example. I feel like this is an easier example to explain it. Let's use a relationship or a friendship in some sort of way, and we're calling it, we know exactly what we want, and someone comes in that's an 80%, meets most of what your values and everything. It's an 80%, but it's not an 100%, but you're tired of waiting, or you're lonely, or whatever the reason is, and you decide that 80% is good enough. It's not 100%, it's 80%, it's close enough, I'm tired of waiting. By doing that, you have just filled the space that the 100% person was meant to fill, that could have filled. We have free will and choice in this. And now there is no space for that 100% to even be in your life, because you are in the energy of compromise and you are accepting less than what you deserve. You are accepting an 80%. You are compromising. So when you are compromised, you are literally giving up the blessings that could be filling that space in your life. So what little ways or big ways are you compromising? If it's not it's a there is no in between. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. And learn, this is something that I've had to learn and continue to get stronger in, but to have no shame. You are on a journey of self-liberation and discovery and healing and growth and all of these things. This is your path. Do not have shame for honoring what your yeses and your nos. I experienced walking into this house for this event, and I'm very discerning now, very discerning with my choices and everything that I choose in my reality. And I walked into this space, and my body's response to this space was so strong that I couldn't even possibly ignore it. It was almost awkward that it was so strong. My body saying, no, get out of here. Fuck no. It was such a strong no that I came into the event and said, oh, I'm leaving. Like literally immediately, pretty much turned around and walked back out. And part of me felt bad, and there was an aspect of me that was like, should I stay, because I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable by making it so clear pretty much that it's not resonating, and to leave. Like I don't want to make anyone feel bad. And like there was the tiny bit of that story playing in my head when I was like, oh my god, I have to leave, like it's a no right away. But I honored it. I was like, nope, it's a no, and I will not put my body through this. It's a no, and my being, my inner child, I deserve better than that. I deserve better than to put myself through what would have been a really energetically not good experience for me if I would have ignored it. And in the past, I would have ignored it. I would have pushed what I was feeling down which is compromising. I would have compromised myself and self-abandoned for the sake of the comfort of others. I would have been like, yeah, I would have felt that and would have pushed it down, saying, nope, I don't want to leave right away because it's going to make others uncomfortable, or it's going to trigger others, or I don't like all of these stories, you know, where it's like self-sacrificing, people pleasing, self-abandonment, compromising, all of these things that used to be a big part of who I was. It was a massive energetic thing, imprint in me. I've mostly released. And yes, it still came up for a moment. I felt the story of that, but my body spoke louder and my truth spoke louder of no. And you don't owe anyone. You don't have to explain, and you don't have to explain. You don't have to feel shame, and you don't have to be sorry for honoring your body and your needs. Hold your standards high. You get what you expect. Do not compromise and settle for what less than what your body knows you deserve, and trust your body. You don't always need to know why. Very rarely, or not very rarely, but like there's some times where my body gives me such a strong fuck no, and I have no clue why, but I trust it now, because when I ignore it, a tough lesson always comes with it. Always a tough lesson comes with it when I ignore it. I'm like, I'm getting a subtle no, but why would I get a no when I do the thing anyways? I've had many experiences doing that. That's why I listen now. And then I go ahead and do it, and a really painful experience comes from it. Or like, yeah, the experience I think I shared before of getting my car broken into when I ignored it. Or, getting attacked energetically. Or there's, endless reasons as to why we shouldn't do something, why our body is warning us. And we don't always know the reason, and we may never know the reason when we follow that instinct. But to trust it, it is your protection. You have no idea how many times your body has protected you, and you may not even be aware of it. Sometimes we're operating quite unconsciously, and we just naturally are like, nope, yes, without even realizing it. But your body has saved you many times, and I know mine has. Mine has endless times that I'm aware of. So trust your body and don't compromise. Trust your body. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. It knows before something even happens